Disclaimer: this podcast is intended for mature audiences only. The views and opinions you're about to hear may be offensive, provoking, or disagreeable. Content you're about to hear and see also contain profanity and insulting content that should not be taken personal. If you are under the age of 18 or easily offended, please stop listening now. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to McDonald's. How can I take your order?
Hi, do you have that No Lube podcast available?
Yes, we do.
Thank you for joining us. You are now listening to the No Lube podcast. Get ready to dive into the minds of Christian and Carla as they tackle and discuss all the censored issues and conversations that we as people are afraid to talk about. You will hear judgments based on principle, opinions that will shed new light on topics, and thoughts we all have but never say out loud, where real topics meet real people. Get ready for strictly raw and uncut content. And now, your No Lube host, Christian and Carla.
Hello and welcome to the No Lube podcast, where dreams that become reality are just a mere coincidence. I'll be your host, Christian, and as always, your co-host, Carla.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, real quick, I just want to say thank you guys. This is our podcast number 6. We've made it this far. Anything you want to say, Carla?
I'm actually surprised we've gone this far. to be real, I didn't think we'd be able to keep it up. I didn't think we'd have enough topics, but I mean,
we've been pretty consistent lately.
We're very consistent. A lot of feedback, a lot of ideas as well. So it's helped out a lot, and I think we've had a good combo.
And with every podcast we've been dropping, we've been asking for feedback from our listeners. We've been trying to fix everything that they think should be fixed. Yeah. And I feel like we've been getting better at it, right?
Right. And again, I would have to say about the sound lately.
Yeah, I just want to apologize for last week's podcast. We took a trip to the jungle, and you can hear all the birds in the back. You can hear all the dogs. Hey, we saw a lot of animals and shit like that.
We're just surrounded by, paradise, really. But
let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Real quick. Again, how we promised you guys, we brought back Miss Perdomo, Jennifer Perdomo. So, Jennifer, how have you been? How have you been since last week, since the last time we talked?
I've been pretty good.
Do you have any new fans?
You know what? I think I might.
Have you gotten any sponsorships?
Really? What have the people been saying that? Because I haven't. I've been just so.
Have you gotten any feedback at work about it?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
This is the first week that I haven't really asked about it. Like, I just been so busy and
they've been coming out to you then?
They haven't. Which is weird.
We're doing something right then, right?
I don't know. Like, the last 5 or whatever we had, like, every week, like, oh, when's the new one coming out? Or, well, what's that? But this one, I was like, I haven't heard anything, or I haven't really paid attention or anything. But or maybe, actually, maybe Jennifer stole the spotlight, so everyone's going to her.
She's going to start her own podcast now?
Next week, it's not going to be me, guys. It's going to be Jennifer taking my place.
But yeah, Jennifer, any feedback that you have about the podcast?
Yeah,
how did you like it? How did you like being on it?
I liked it. I mean, I got a lot of feedback about myself. I said so many yeahs. I can't.
Have we been treating you pretty good as a guest?
Yes, you guys are amazing. Give me drinks. Give me somewhere to sit nice in the shade and everything.
Wow, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us again. Real quick, so something that I'm interested in.
Okay.
So I'm really not a coffee drinker, so I usually don't go here. But I mean, when people go there, they always ask me if I want something, and I always end up getting like, I don't know, something sweet that's not coffee.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's Starbucks.
Okay.
Wow, Carla, I feel like you have a lot to say about Starbucks.
I have my own.
So first, I just want to ask your opinion, Jennifer, since, you tell me that you drink Starbucks every single day.
Not every single day. No. I mean, I try not to. But I do frequently. Yeah.
But what is it about Starbucks that keeps bringing people back?
Yeah,
because I feel like the prices are pretty high, right? So it's not cheap coffee.
What makes you go to Starbucks versus...
Coffee Bean, McDonald's coffee, McCafe,
Dunkin' Donuts.
I like the taste one.
So what do you usually get? What do you get?
My usual is just an iced green tea latte with a shot of espresso and with almond milk. Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you can't get at any other coffee place or anything like that?
I think you could. I have tried Coffee Bean,
But
I haven't tried like I don't know about McDonald's. I don't know if they have like that variety of options where you could almond milk, coconut milk, soy milk, or little things like that.
Something that's interesting. A lot of people, or anywhere you go, you're gonna have that bad customer, right?
yeah,
This customer that's gonna come and be an asshole or make you feel like you're doing a shitty job.
yeah.
I wonder if they do shit to retaliate as employees. Do employees do anything to retaliate?
Oh, well, I mean, a little side note on my end. I have family members that work at Starbucks. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Why didn't you tell me about that?
I know. We get
She's gonna tell us all the little dirty
we
secrets.
get like free coffee like once a week, like a pound of coffee like every week.
A
and
pound of
stuff.
coffee. Fuck.
Which is just the regular batch. You know what I mean? Like, but like if you're coffee drinkers, like we are, like, or yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
You got a whole batch in there?
yeah. And then we get like obviously discounts and stuff like that. But I know. I personally don't. I mean, I have family members. One's a manager at one of the Starbucks, and another one's a barista.
Okay.
And I personally don't like Starbucks because I feel like it's too overpriced. I feel like I can totally get my beans somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Your beans.
My beans somewhere else. For what it is, and I really, and here's the one thing that I've been upset about Starbucks. If I may,
what is it,
if I
Carla?
may
Tell
say.
us.
So I've gone in, like, I don't like the whole fancy smancy thing that you get, right? Like, I mean, I think it's good or whatever, but I don't think I'm addicted to.
So what's
all
your
that.
go-to drink?
Coffee.
Just straight black
Straight-
cold brew?
I just want a cup of coffee where I can add cream and sugar and whatnot.
So you don't mind going to like the corner donut shop or something?
No, in fact, actually, I prefer the best coffee is the McDonald's coffee.
McCafe?
Or yeah, or
Okay.
or
Shout
the-
out to McDonald's for keeping it real and keeping Carla hooked on that.
Yeah, and my man Jack in the Box has good coffee too. Like seriously,
I was about to go like, what, Carla? You have a man now?
you're a man.
Damn, spilling beans.
my man Jack, right?
Jack in the
Shout out
crack.
to
Jack
Carlos, man. Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it always comes through late at night too.
Those 2 for $1 tacos. Whew.
But
Delicious.
So I went to Starbucks. I was like, okay, if we're gonna pay high price, this coffee must be dang good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I went to Starbucks and ordered some coffee, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any right now." And I'm like, "How do you not have coffee? Like, you're fucking Starbucks. Like, it's coffee is your is your first, second, and last name."
You know what, Carla? I've had a story like that.
And so they looked at me like,
Me
"What?
too, I have a
Like,
story about today.
you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, what, coffee? Yeah, coffee. Like, I don't. And so they have different flavors, right? And so, they only have like if you guys don't know, like when you go and order coffee, they're only brewing 2 types of coffees. They'll have like either 2 house ones and a decaf, right?
Okay.
So usually they'll brew the Pike Place. That's the original bean from Seattle, whatever. That's the original coffee. I personally do not like that coffee. I'll have them brew me something else, like the Verona, the Asian flair one, or there's one from Guatemala that they have, and I'll choose anyone but Pike Place. And sometimes they just have Pike Place, right?
Yeah.
But it's Starbucks. They should have all these in stock because it's a coffee shop.
Like, how do you run out of coffee?
Like, it's not that they ran out, it's just that they're not brewing it because they're just not brewing it.
That's stupid.
Right. Thank you. So I went one day, I'm like, hey, can I have, whatever? I'm like, oh, we only have Pike Place. I'm like, well, can you, and you ask them, do me a pour over, which means they're going to get whatever one you want and they'll brew it out and do it for you. So just for your cup or whatever. But they acted like I asked them to go fucking,
Go cut the fucking beans.
Yeah,
Fucking
go to
bring 'em.
Colombia and fucking go through all this, bring them back, and do all this. And I'm just like,
Let 'em know, girl.
they're like, oh, it's gonna be like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm paying you big bucks to brew me a cup of fucking coffee, and and they
I
just
feel
give
like
me attitude.
I feel like
It's
Starbucks is like top of the line coffee.
it
So,
should be.
Yeah, so if like you go there, you shouldn't have any mistake at all. It's like, okay, for example, like
it's not rocket science. It's
Yeah.
fucking coffee. Just like heat it up, pour it in my cup, and charge me.
There you go. You know, I have an interesting story about that.
Okay.
Not about Starbucks, but a place that like literally ran out of what they fucking sell.
Really?
So once it was like, I don't know, let's just say 2, 3 in the morning, and there's this Taco Bell that's by my house. It's open 24/7, right?
Okay.
The drive-through. So I pulled up to a drive-through once, and I started ordering all these like tacos and shit like that, right? Because I was with my friends.
Yeah.
They ran out of tacos.
And this lady told me we ran out of beef. Like, how the fuck do you run out of beef? So then I was like, whatever, you know what? Let me just get a chicken burrito. And she goes like, we ran out of chicken. So then I was like, what do you guys have?
Yeah.
And she goes like, the only thing we have available is beans
Oh.
and rice. And I was like, the fuck am I going to eat a fucking bean and rice burrito? Like,
Open then.
exactly. Like, why even open? Why not just close it down completely?
Wow.
But yeah, that's my story. Do you have any stories, Jennifer?
I do actually. I was watching the news. Guys.
Univision
I
o
mean, it was-
Telemundo?
No.
Or Alarma
I
TV?
mean,
They're
not-
recalling the beans right now. That's what they're doing. They're recalling the
I
other
mean,
coffee.
it wasn't that they ran out of things, but I heard about an insane coffee shop that's selling coffee for $75.
Coffee for $75.
Thank you.
Does this shit like refill itself after you're
I'm
done?
not
Like
kidding.
what?
I saw this in
Primer Impacto.
Yo, it should have been there because that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's a local coffee roaster, right? Rooster?
Roasted?
It says roaster.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Roasted. Let's just say that.
It says it's brewing the world's most expensive coffee for $75. And I think they also ran out at one point though.
Who's paying $75 for a fucking cup of coffee, though?
First of all, like, how do you run out of that? Like, are people really fucking going and buying it?
I think so, cause I was hearing about it, and I think they only had 80 cups available. So 80 people went down there and actually bought.
80 stupid people.
Yeah.
80 stupid people.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, this must have like some magic power, and I don't.
Okay,
know.
let me ask you this one.
That's $6,000.
Let me ask you.
Damn,
That's a lot of money
the
for one day. Why not?
Oh,
But
I
let
calculate.
me ask you this one. Okay, for both of you guys, since you guys do drink coffee,
Okay.
whoever wants to answer it first, what is the most you'll pay for coffee? Like, what's borderline?
Like a cup of coffee?
A cup of coffee. Put it in
Well,
this situation.
I
Say
mean, like,
say
look,
you're going somewhere
look.
and you're just like, okay, this is
Look.
the only place you can get coffee, and they're charging this much. What's your price?
For a small cup of coffee?
Yeah,
Coffee?
a small cup of coffee.
Depending, like the most. I want to say. I want to say $5 is way too much.
Yeah.
So if a small cup is $5, and that's the only place
Well,
in like
when-
the next 100 miles, you're not gonna purchase the coffee? Like,
yeah, no more than $5.
Yeah, no.
honestly.
I'll.
so at
fucking-
$5 you can walk away from the coffee.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
What
get my
about
caffeine somewhere else.
what about you, Jennifer?
no, same. $5.
I mean, even though look, listen. I think right now, when I went to I recently took a trip to Vegas. People in my party would wake up in the morning and they would go. They say, "Oh, I need my Starbucks fix. I need to go get Starbucks." Okay,
Starbucks fix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
right. So down the hotel, across like a little walkway, there was a Starbucks, right? But in our hotel, there was like a little shop, coffee shop, right? And I don't need to wait in that long ass line with everyone else. Like, so they went to whatever. And plus like I said, I just gave you some reasons why I don't go because they can't give me a decent cup of coffee. And I said, you know what, you guys, I followed them like, I'll go downstairs with you, but this is where we part ways. You can wait in Starbucks. I'm going to get my small cup of coffee. And it was $3.75 for a small cup of coffee.
And is that okay or is that not okay? I'm not a coffee drinker. That's what I'm asking.
I mean, it's not okay because it's just a fucking cup of coffee, but
So how much is a coffee at a like mom and pop owned donut shop?
I mean, you can get it at 7-Eleven for 79 cents.
Okay, that's okay. I understand now.
But like I understand I was in Vegas and they overpriced it, but I wasn't going to pay more. I wasn't going to get raked more than I needed to get. You know what I mean? Like they're taking I'm literally giving them money for a cup of coffee. So I went to this coffee shop, whatever. And I paid $3.75 for a small cup of coffee. It was decent. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what it is to be like, ooh, this is Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like or I just needed a coffee. It's just I feel like it's just a cup of coffee. That's all.
So then
it
are
is.
people getting finessed at Starbucks?
I think it's more like when I said before about wearing brand name clothes in one of my in one of my podcasts. Yeah, that you're just paying for the fucking cup. Like you're just paying to literally walk around and hold the brand on there. It doesn't even matter. And people are like, oh, this person went to Starbucks. That's the new hip thing to do nowadays is to do that. And in fact, like instead of doing that, they have like an e-cigarette. It's not e-cigarette. It's like an e-cigarette, but it's like you can inhale caffeine.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's yeah. They did. And you know what? I'm going to, because...
Do you have more information about this? Because this is interesting. This is really interesting.
Yeah, this is called, it's called Eagle Energy. So for those of you who don't want to pay God knows what amount to Starbucks, because God knows they already have enough money anyways. This is Eagle Energy. It's caffeine inhalers. So you know how you have like the pen where you're like basically vaping, right? Yeah. So now you have an electronic vaporizer, but with caffeine.
So
you don't need to
I
go.
don't even know what to say about that.
You don't even need to go. You don't need to go and buy your caffeine. You just need to freaking take a little puff and
a little puff.
Because it says it'll when you drink a cup of coffee, it's gonna take. If you're doing it for energy or whatever it is, your frap or whatever, it takes 30 to 40 minutes for it to start working. You start inhaling this little thing, and it works in 3 to 5 minutes.
You see, I feel like that's pretty cool because say you're like a busy person or you're on the run, you can literally have this in your car, have this in your pocket, take it out, hit the fucking pen or whatever it is, hit it like once or twice, and boom, you got the coffee that you need, the caffeine that you need.
Yeah.
Right? But let me ask you this, Carla. Does this make smoking, I don't want to say smoking, but vaping acceptable to our society? Because our society does see it as like a bad thing, right?
I think it sees it bad because you're inhaling smoke. Now, this is not smoke. It's vapors. I don't know.
Aren't you inhaling chemicals?
I'm not a scientist. If anyone hasn't really caught up with that,
Point is, this is your fucking caffeine.
Yeah. Point is like it's not like because you can. I don't know how bad it is because I can be behind someone who is smoking a cigarette, right?
Secondhand caffeine.
And you're just like, like you're all just, oh, that's gross, right? But when you're behind someone that's vaping, you're just like, well, that wasn't so bad. You know what I mean?
That wasn't so bad,
right? Like you're just.
Go ahead and blow smoke to my face. It's fine.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
so
there's
you
a difference.
Say anything to someone that's vaping in front of you?
No, because it's not really bothering me like smoke does.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
If you were in a room like and people are smoking cigarettes versus vaping, what are you gonna choose?
Yeah, I guess vaping.
I mean, they're both obviously like I'm sure they both have health risks and whatever. No.
Little kids.
Let me ask you this. I have two things about
if
this.
If you're under the age of 18, please turn this off right now.
Is it okay to literally smoke this caffeine pen? Let's call it a caffeine pen in front of children, right? Second thing, you, Jennifer, let me get your opinion on this. You, since you have little brothers and you're literally a second mom to them.
Yeah.
By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, all the mothers.
For mothers.
Let's just say happy Mother's to you too. Happy Mother's Day to you too, Jennifer. Okay, so you're like a second mother to your little brothers, little siblings. Are you willing to pick up this pen and replace your caffeine and smoke it in front of your little brothers?
Granted, obviously you haven't tried it yet. So what if?
I in general don't smoke.
But what if you try this and you're like, oh,
like life changing?
Yeah, like you're spending less money now. Because we're all working people. We're all trying to save a buck. What if this gives you the same situation? What if they bring out a pen that tastes like your green tea?
So it saves you money and it saves you time.
Yeah, because all you need is 2 puffs and you're high on life.
You're high on fucking caffeine.
Like you're on a 10, you're happy, your mood changes, you're like getting stuff accomplished.
Tell us, Jennifer, what's your opinion on that?
Successful too.
Changes your life?
Become a millionaire?
Yeah. So taking over Carla's podcast?
Damn.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I don't think I would want to. I just think, well, look, I think it's the same, like, parents smoking in front of their kids. I mean, if you're okay with that and you're the parent, you know, you're gonna have to deal with that. You know, the consequences later on as they're growing older and they want to smoke. You know, and that's up to you if you're okay with it or not. I don't think I'm okay with that with me vaping in front of them.
So you would hide it.
But I mean, you're
So
vaping.
let- so
You're
let's
vaping
say-
coffee.
But let's say, you're just.
And then, like, the thing is, I was brought up, like, I was raised up, like, you know, old, traditional, like, you know, my parents are that people, like, you know, weed, oh my god, no, you know, smoking, no, you know, drinking, maybe we let it slide, right? But nothing more than that.
Alcoholic.
Or that-
Anyways.
My family, they would call it, for the adults, they're like, oh, this is special water.
La
This is-
medicina.
Yeah, this is
The
something
medicine.
else. This is special water. It's just, so,
Wow.
yeah.
But since caffeine has no age limit, anybody can drink it.
True.
Are we okay with children picking up this pen or buying this pen and taking hits out of this pen that gives you just straight caffeine, nothing else?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable, Carla?
The way you're describing it, it's like almost saying, like, I'm gonna pick up, like
Because you're
Coke,
technically not doing anything bad.
right. But it's just like saying, like, Coke, you know, like, not Coke, but like cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna do a line, you know, because it's gonna do a faster job than, like, let's say something else, another drug, right? So you're just gonna do a quick pick me up, and you're doing that. So I feel like, in which case, in this way, you're doing this vaporizing to give you a quick hit. I don't think that should be acceptable for kids, because kids don't know a lot, and, like, it could be definitely abused. They can definitely, like, inhale the shit out of that.
Okay,
And
maybe
it's
this one changes your mind. For Jennifer,
Okay.
since you have little brothers, do they ever ask you for Starbucks, or do you ever give them Starbucks?
Yes. I'm guilty of that.
Wow, send it to jail.
Child services.
Child services, yeah.
Yes, I do.
For
But
what
I mean,
reason?
What I don't get them. I'm not gonna think about it. I don't think it has caffeine. I just get them like a green tea frappuccino. It's just, you know, the matcha powder with, you know, mixed with ice and milk.
Are you
Wait,
okay
wait.
with? Are you okay
Powder.
with giving powder,
Powder.
that white powder? Are you okay with giving them coffee though? If they ask for coffee at Starbucks, are you okay with that?
I don't know.
Or is that a complete no? Because I feel for like Hispanic families, Hispanic parents drink coffee on the daily, right? Un poco de pan con café and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's how I started
So-
with my caffeine thing.
Yeah, and they like literally allow their kids to drink coffee, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like a free choice, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with drinking coffee. Let's just leave it there if you're in a Hispanic family.
Yeah.
So, are you okay with giving your little brothers coffee?
If they want to try it, sure. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, prueba, mijo, you know.
So, what if they want to try this vape pen?
Okay, the thing about the vape pen though, I'm not gonna come in and be like, I don't think I want to, like, you know, show it off to them and, you know, be like puffing it out and be
Toma,
in front of
mijo.
them.
Here you
Yeah,
go,
no,
son.
you don't want to do that. You're making it sound like if I want to introduce them to the vape pen, like, here, you're gonna feel much better with this, you know? Like, no, they already have a lot of energy that I'm trying to kill, actually.
So she gets some pot.
No.
She gives them Coke. Here, son, take
No.
this.
I don't think, that's, for them to try, I think a parent or an adult needs to introduce it to them. They can't order it by themselves, right? So, I mean,
No.
you gotta, like, be introducing it to them. And
Can
be
a kid
like,
go into Starbucks and order coffee?
I think
Oh, that's a great question.
I think so.
I've never.
It'd be like,
Would you take
Yeah.
it from a kid?
I mean, there's no age limit by
Right.
law.
and you don't know if they're just, the parents are
Kids
late.
going to McDonald's
like-
and ordering Happy Meal.
Let me get a
Like,
shot of
You
espresso.
don't know if the parents are lazy and they're in the car and sends this kid to go, you know.
True. I mean, that's what kids are for, right?
Like-
Now I'm just playing.
Like, my parents used to, like, have me go, like,
Horrible.
go inside the gas station and pay for the gas and, you know, pump it. And it's just like,
Here, son, go to this go to this address and get me this little bag of Coke.
yeah.
Here's the money.
Which, by the way, I looked up if the green tea frappuccino has caffeine.
Does
and
it?
And it does.
Oh.
It does.
Totally does.
Wow.
Wow, sorry, guys.
So you've been giving your kids, your little brothers, fucking
Apologize
coffee.
to
It
my
has-
little brothers.
It gives me the serving.
did
It
not.
gives me the milligrams of how much caffeine it has, which I have no idea what the hell that means. But if you want to know how much you're giving them,
Sure
but
now.
they do. I think, I mean, green tea for sure has
Caffeine?
caffeine.
Okay.
They have you take that, like, if you can't do, like, regular coffee or something, they have you take green tea to give you energy. Or shit, whichever comes first.
Okay, well, that was my little rant about Starbucks.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just everybody talks about Starbucks all the time. And I feel like that the pen thing could be a good alternative to getting your caffeine.
Yeah.
So that's fucking smart. But moving on with that.
And that's my take on Starbucks, because...
Okay, but moving on with that, right?
Okay.
So let's move on to our segment of stupid or totally genius ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with Carla. Carla, do you have anything that...
You know, every
You
week it's
feel
me.
like it?
It's every week.
why
Like,
don't you
like,
do
yeah.
this
What are you doing here? What are you know? Let's me and Jennifer gonna have like a talk.
Wow. All right, cool. So, Carla, we're gonna have to let you go. Jennifer, are you looking for a new job?
Nah.
Anyways, on the next one, I'll give you a stupid or smart idea so you
All
can stop your little arguing, Carla.
Oh, my
So what is it?
argument.
What is it, Carla?
All right, you guys are gonna love this.
Okay.
What is it?
All right, this is gonna be stupid or genius.
You sound excited.
Oh, because when I heard this, I was like, what? Like, is this real?
I haven't seen Carla this excited since my Donald's released the Szechuan sauce. I'm just playing. Go. What is it, Carla?
All right, it's genius or stupid ideas. So these are secret street tours.
Secret street tours. I think I've heard of something like this. Continue.
So in Dublin, Ireland,
Okay.
they have a homeless problem. Now, we've been in the past, obviously in the past podcast, we've talked about the homeless situation and, you know, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So Dublin, Ireland also has the same problem, that they have too many homeless people, blah, 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 right? So they came up with a solution.
What is it?
Well, since they realize that the homeless are on the streets and they live there and they know that's pretty much their neighborhood because they've either got evicted or, you know, or just nearby, or they wander the streets often, so they obviously know where everything's at. Yeah. So because of their experience and they know the town very well, they created this street secret tours. So the Secret Street Tour is a non-profit organization, and it has created this like a job opportunity. So what it is that you're paying the homeless to be your tour guide.
Okay. You're paying the homeless to be your tour guide.
Because
Interesting.
because they are the best tour guides, because they know
They know the streets.
They know the streets.
Interesting.
So wherever you want to go, you know, to this bar, you want to go to this, you know, church, the Guinness, you know, brewery, whatever. They know where to go. And so
Okay.
this is giving them the opportunity to not only earn money and, you know, help get them back on their feet. And they've created this, you know, this organization, the Secret Street Tours, for homeless people to earn money so that they can give you.
But this organization guarantees your safety, right, with the homeless? Because, I mean, if
this
some
is-
homeless
now-
comes up to me and
now-
goes like, let me
now-
give you a tour, and he jumps me fucking in this alley,
Well, now
That's something else.
Now this is a discussion. Is this a genius or?
I don't know if this is stupid or genius. This is a good one, Carla. This is good.
You are welcome.
This is good, because
Okay.
look, I have a
'Cause,
couple of things.
Because I mean, like like, what better way? And it's probably going to be dirt cheap. I mean, no.
Yeah, let me give you my take on it. Look.
Yes, please give
One,
me your take, because
I feel
we
like
haven't-
Carla, stop. Look, look. This is interesting because one, I feel like this is genius. Like you're literally allowing these homeless people to have a job and literally pull themselves out of the situation, right?
Right.
But I feel like I don't know if I can trust it.
Right.
The reason why is
are they
because-
going to be like, oh, this is the crack house where I go to yesterday?
Like, oh look, let me show you something in this alley,
Oh, yeah.
and boom, there's like 3 homeless people, and they jump me, and
Yeah.
fucking, I'm here like jumped in a fucking alley by homeless
Look,
people.
welcome to my crib. You know.
So I don't know if that's interesting or not.
Yeah.
But let me just say I'm leaning towards it's a genius idea, because 1, you're helping our society.
Yeah.
2, you're pushing our economy,
Right.
and 3, who doesn't want to experience a fucking tour from a homeless person, right?
Yes, that's the one thing, number 1 on my list when I go overseas and, like, you know, wondering.
wait to go on that.
Yeah, I know.
And
sign me up for that
That's
one.
really interesting because I've heard of tours here in Los Angeles that give you, for example, the hood tour. I don't know if you ever Googled this or you ever like
No,
heard of it.
I definitely have not. Nor do I. No.
It's this person that takes you to like Compton, Watts, and they show you literally like all the big monument things, like for example the Watts Towers.
What? Oh, I was like,
and
what
all this, right?
Like, what?
The Watts Towers, and I feel like I wouldn't go to Watts by myself because I'm gonna get fucking jumped. So I guess they have this pass or something. I don't know, but it's just
They have a
interesting.
gang
to me.
member giving you the tours. You know.
I'm VIP. Don't jump me. Don't shoot me. Something like that. But I don't know. That's just my take on that.
So
what about you, Jennifer?
Yeah.
I think I want to say it's a genius idea. I mean, it does have a lot of, pros and cons. And wait, cons is a bad one, right?
Yes.
Okay, it has a lot of cons.
Cons, as no pun intended.
Yeah.
I mean, like Christian said, I agree with you. You know, you don't know if you can trust that your tour guide. And then, but I mean, what if you don't like the tour guide? And what if I don't know.
You don't tip them.
But I like the intention behind it. I think it has a great idea, and not everyone knows like I said, little shortcuts here and there, or little spots here and there. Like you need to, and they know the community too, so they know the people. They know
where to get drugs. They know where to find boxes to make houses.
They're all. Do you want to go to a real party?
Yeah, I think it's a genius idea, and you're helping them out, so why not?
I personally think it's a genius idea. Of course, I think it'd have to run a little more to get like.
Yes, I can agree with that.
To get like a little more of a back on their feet, you know,
it's like anything. Like with the prototype, you can't really trust the first batch of it.
Yeah,
you have to wait till like the second batch comes out.
Right. Like I agree that like if I want to get here faster, this that, like take me on this tour. They'll point out maybe like some stuff around, and and they're trying to get their lives together too. So I mean, now,
hey, can you point me out to the trap house?
Now, I mean, I don't know. I didn't investigate how much they're charging versus, I mean, I didn't go that far, but I mean, like, I would think it's not that much. It's a nonprofit organization, so they're not, but they are getting paid, and I think it helps society. Again, I don't know how trustful, because again, I don't want to seem like I don't trust all the homeless.
But you have to really check how controlling it is with the organization. Is the organization running like background checks, if you can even run a background check on a homeless person?
Exactly.
Because
I
mean,
what I was saying, it has a lot of cons because you don't know if that person is crazy or not, like literally mentally ill, and they're out here like, and you're risk. Sometimes it could be aggressive to you out of nowhere.
But you see, there's other things like, for example, like Homeboy Industries that works.
Oh,
they're cons. They're like really. True. They're people that like come out of prison and like you're giving them the second chance.
They need
which is what you're doing for these homeless people.
Yeah.
And I mean, Homeboy Industries really works.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of products that people love and they buy and they trust it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is a good idea too.
Which is a good idea. So that's the reason why I'm just like, I don't know, I'm iffy about this. But I'm leaning towards it's a genius idea just because you're helping someone out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, would you find me on that tour? I'd send you first. Christian, you go on in, and then you let me know how that goes.
Don't forget to use our promo code. homelesstours.com/No Lube podcast.
Yeah.
You'll receive a 10%. If anything, they'll give you a little baggie of Coke to take home.
Damn.
Share with your friends. Take the tour and let us know. I'll tell you what. Anybody out there that's listening, if you guys take the tour, I want you to come on the podcast, and we're gonna talk about this. Yes. You know what? I'll pay for your tour if you're okay with it.
If you're okay with it.
If you're okay and you're down to take this tour, I'll pay for that tour.
Wow, that's a major.
You must be brave.
I mean, No Lube does have quite a good amount of money, right?
Damn. Yeah, that sponsorship though.
I mean, how much are we paying you, Jennifer? Pretty good check, right? But anyways, that. Let's just conclude it with, it's a fucking genius idea.
Yeah.
You guys can agree, right?
Yeah, we all agree here.
Perfect. So, Jennifer, since you are the guest of this podcast, do you have any topics you want to really get into or discuss? Because I remember you mentioned something about some abortion thing that's happening in Ohio, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
It's,
I've stayed away from the news for a good while, so I'm really not informed about this. I don't know if you're informed about this, Carla.
No, I didn't even know this was going on.
Perfect. So you're gonna get a raw opinion on it. What is it, Jennifer?
Raw.
Well, I want to hear your opinion on this bill called the Fetal Heartbeat Bill.
I thought you were gonna say the Bill Cosby bill. All right, go on.
Just
So
same.
it's a form of proposed abortion legislation in the United States to make abortions illegal as soon as the fetus heartbeat can be detected. So, for example,
Let me give you a quick definition of abortion for the people that don't know what abortion is.
yeah, go for it.
So, an abortion is the ending of a pregnancy by removing or expulsion of an embryo or fetus before it can survive outside of the uterus. Right?
Yeah.
So with that, go on,
So,
Jennifer.
for example, if a patient is seeking to have an abortion, the doctor must use standard medical practice, and that is to determine whether the fetus has a heartbeat. Now, if the fetus has a heartbeat, then the doctor is prohibited, so he cannot perform an abortion unless it's to save the mother's life or to prevent serious risk, right? And this does not include so it does not include exceptions for rape or incest, guys. So I just want to hear your opinion about this, because this is happening right now in Ohio, and to me, I think it's just unfair. Like, people are taking choices over what you think you're capable of doing, for a child or with a child, and it's not. I don't think it's right. And it's happening right now. So
You don't think it's right of what?
that there's a law that doesn't
Give you
allow-
the choice.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the choice.
Let me just throw this out there. I'm pro-choice with that. I feel like everybody has their own situation on pregnancy. I feel that the woman should be able to decide what she wants to do or when she wants to take this abortion or not take this abortion.
Yeah.
And I'm strongly with that. Get me?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the woman deserves everything 100%. They can make their own choice.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree with you. She's
And
the
I'm
one that's
sure-
gonna carry the baby.
Yeah, and I'm sure you agree with that too, Carla, right?
Yeah.
I've heard Carla is against abortion. I'm just
That
playing.
is-
I'm playing. What is it, Carla?
We do
What's
wanna
your
hear
idea?
your
Yeah,
thoughts.
what's your idea on that?
It's very delicate. I know.
It is. It is.
Shit's about to go down.
It
What's
is.
up, Carla?
No,
What is it?
This is not just about to go down. I'm just saying. I mean, it's because I don't know. I'm torn a little bit. Now, I'm not torn because of this law. Like in general, like if you ask me, is this right? I say no. I think everyone should have a right to choose. I don't think the law should tell you like you have no choice. Like
Yeah.
give me a choice, and then based on my situation, I will make the proper decision. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that's not cool. Like women should have, it's their body, it's their choice, and it's not the law's choice, right?
Yeah.
If it were me personally, I don't know. Again, it'd have to depend
Your
on the situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, again, do I consider myself super religious? No. Spiritual, maybe. Like to a certain extent. So I would like to say that I would keep the baby.
Yeah.
Things happen, and and it's not right. It's not right. Like, I think they should make if they're gonna make a decision like that. Well, no, they just shouldn't. They just shouldn't. Like, they shouldn't. Because I'm just thinking in terms of like heartbeat. Like, but people want to outlaw abortions in general, and I say like they're doing it because of life. But I mean, sometimes I feel like if we don't know if there's pain to it, we don't know how it is. So are we really creating like
But I mean, you still have that choice of like literally going outside of Ohio, going to like Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia, Kentucky, or like Michigan, even Toronto, right? Which are everything that like borders Ohio.
Yeah.
You can still go out there and like, I don't know their laws on that, but I feel like you can go out there and get an abortion out there. I'm not saying that
You should do it.
you should
Yeah. No.
do it or not, but
In
what I'm
fact-
saying is that there's still alternatives to it.
But,
like, get me?
but see, that's what things like this is what creates not problems, but like when they outlawed alcohol way back when. I mean, people still found a way to do it. When abortion wasn't, a thing, people would find a way to go do it. And
The coat hanger?
And yeah, and
Oh my God.
yeah, and sometimes it would be more dangerous. You know what I mean? Or it'd be worse. The person would die.
So are you saying that because of this law, you're gonna open doors to literally having illegal abortion
Yeah.
clinics.
Yeah, and much dangerous in like the black market and things like that. Look, I mean, look what happened to just making marijuana legal. Like it's not even a big thing, and it's just the same thing. Like alcohol is alcohol. Once it's just if people tell you no, that's the more you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like once it's legal now it's like okay, everyone does it. It's not even a big deal. You just have to be fucking responsible, and that's another situation in general.
Is there a reason why Ohio did this? Is like Ohio a religious state or some shit like that?
I think Ohio is the 4th state to agree to this, actually, to this bill. So I think there's other states. I don't have it with me which are the other states, but I think it's like one of the 4 states that says it's okay.
Because that's really interesting. I really want to get the background on that.
Yeah.
Because
why Ohio?
Yeah, why Ohio?
I mean, I think it's one of the not even
whitest fucking states out there.
No, I wasn't gonna say. I was not going to say that. I wanted to say. No, I think Ohio flip-flops back and forth in general. I was going to say, is it one of the 13 colonies? But that, yeah, I know. I was like, that requires a lot of I don't know, history. Like history shit that I don't know much about. Thank you, public school.
Yeah, I suck at history.
But, okay, let's say this. Since we're on the topic of abortion, right? You think it would be different, or people would take it differently, or how can we fight it if it happened here in California?
That's the thing. I think that's the thing.
Because California is really ethnic.
It would not happen here.
It's really ethnic and cultural, and people have all these fucking ideas.
It would not happen here.
Not even
like you can't. I'm sure you didn't even talk about it. Like it just.
Like how did people allow this to happen over there? That's what I don't get.
It's the people in political power.
Yeah, it's who's representing your community and everything like that.
Because that's really, I don't know, I feel like that's just crazy that they pass a bill that literally limits your choice.
Yeah.
Get me? And it sucks as a woman.
And there's no exception, not even if you got raped.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm a feminist, so I really believe in equality within all genders. Mm-hmm. So it really sucks, and it's really like painful to hear this.
Yeah.
That you're taking literally this choice that women have, this natural like right to literally doing what you want with your body. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that sucks. That sucks.
I mean, their excuse is, the heartbeat. As long as there's a heartbeat, that means there's life, right? But I was reading an Instagram post. Someone posted, if someone is brain dead, you gotta pull the plug, because that means they're no longer humans. They no longer can make choices or anything.
Present.
Like they're not present anymore. They have a heartbeat, but they're not there anymore. Like,
but who are we to execute, to be the executor? You get me? Who are we to literally make a decision about someone's life?
Well, think about it. If you have a loved one, and they're brain dead, but they have a heartbeat, are you gonna keep him in bed, or are you gonna pull the plug and let them like?
I mean, if you're in a coma, you really can't determine when they're gonna be out of that coma. So you, as having a loved one, I feel like you're gonna do whatever it fucking takes to keep this fucking person alive.
I just, now I lost my train of thought, but I just had like a fucking, a light bulb that would be, my opinion what I'm about to say is very controversial.
I mean, say it.
Very Hispanic.
Nah.
I'm just playing. Go on, Carla.
It's like,
what is it?
It's like saying, like, we could be like, okay, guys need to get a vasectomy, right? Until you're ready to have children, right? Mm-hmm. And what would you say to that?
Ooh, Christian, yes. Put him on the spot, girl.
I mean, if we can have sex and shoot blanks, why not? No, I'm just playing. Nah, but Christian Savage moments right there. Nah, I feel like, wow, I don't even know what to say about that, honestly.
Because it's all on the women. It's like, okay, why did you put it on? I'm like, when I make a law, I'm like, okay, it's your fucking shit, You're the one, the guys are the ones,
It takes 2 to tango,
Ooh, 2 to tango. There you go. So I mean, because now vasectomies are reversible. So if it was law for every guy to be like, okay, until you're ready, until they have to see like your papers and like, oh, you have a job, you have whatever, you want to start a family, cool, let's do this.
Damn, that fucking sucks.
Oh, okay. Well, now think of a women that which we. I mean, I'm not saying we don't have any rights.
No, hold up. But you see, I don't know. I don't think those are the same things. Just because men, like some men some men are dogs. Let's be honest, right?
So my other wait. So my other argument was, right, is to, you know, again, this is a lot, because, you know, if we made it okay to have an abortion, right, which is you know, it happens, but if people are having it, if they're abusing it, right, if they're abusing the whole abortion thing, like,
as in, like, you're getting pregnant like every fucking like month, and you're getting an abortion type
or
of
like
shit?
even like people on drugs that like just continuously have abortions after abortion because of whatever, right?
But then you're taking everybody else's choices.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, like the situation that Jennifer did bring up about rape and shit like that. Like, what if you did get raped and you don't want to bring this up?
Well, that's a different situation. What I'm saying is that it's, I mean, we can also be like, you know, women shouldn't, at one point should be like, look, if you're having a lot of abortions, then you need help or something, because that can't be, you know, I'm not saying I'm all about, but I mean, like, essentially you are, quote unquote, taking a life, you know what I mean? Like, but like I said, as a person, right? Like, it's your responsibility to, like, okay, I'm going to bring up this child. I'm going to be responsible for this child for the rest until they're 18, hypothetically, right? So if I'm going to be able to do that, then cool, whatever. But if I'm not going to be able to do it, the responsible choice is like, okay, let's have abortion. Now, if I'm having it like every 6 months or whatever, then shouldn't be, there should be like, look, we need to get you help.
I think I got the solution to this. I think I got the solution to that argument you're making, Carla. I might get a lot of backlash for it, but I don't give a fuck.
When do you not?
Okay, look. So at this point, why not limit the amount of abortions you can have then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Limit it to 2 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, like, we can't limit it to 2 because, I mean, unfortunately, what if you get raped like more than, I mean, like, but then again, that brings up a lot more situations again. So everything has to be done carefully, because we can't just say, oh, only 2, and then you're like, okay, well, I just used my 2, and
you tell your friend, hey, let me borrow one.
Yeah.
Transfer me your credit. But that's an interesting argument that you're bringing up.
You know what I mean? Because at one point, yeah, I agree. But at some point, like, hey, if, you know, you were gonna, just like, and it's the same thing, like, you were responsible, just like Jennifer was saying, like, your family member is suffering or they brain dead, like, you as a person are responsible now to make the decision, like, they obviously can't, they're not going to be able to get up and walk away or whatever. Same thing when you have a pet. I've had that choice where I have to make the decision, like
put them down or not?
Put them down or not. And it's like, are they suffering? Are they going to live the quality of life that you want them to live? And it's like, it's a hard decision, but it's, in the end, it should be the best one.
Okay, then let me ask you this one. So a good topic would be assisted suicide, right? So say you are suicidal and you feel like, legitly, like, I don't know, you just can't do it no more. And I'm sure there's certain states like you can't do it no more, as in, like, you can't be alive anymore, right?
Okay.
There are some states that I feel like have doctors where you can go to and literally have them kill you or some shit like that, like put you down.
But
so is that okay? Why are people against it?
But isn't that like only done with like you have health situations?
Yeah. Like,
not just like, oh, I give up today.
Chair.
Yeah, I give up today. Like, I had a bad, my coffee wasn't hot.
But should you have that choice? What if you're just really suicidal and you can't do it no more, and you're just like, I want to die, but I'm not gonna go and like jump off a bridge or blast myself in front of fucking people. Let me do it privately. Should that be a thing? Should it be a thing? Or are you gonna tell me that's not? I'm not even gonna. I'm making it sound like a genius or stupid idea, but I mean, think about it. Isn't that like?
I honestly feel
smart?
Like.
No, I feel like some people are not mentally there. You know, sometimes emotions take over you, and maybe at the moment, you know, you're just like going through this and all that, and you're like, oh, I'm having a rough day, da da. But I always, you see, this is the way I see it sometimes. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I always think like the motherland, you know, I saw children, like, you know, carry, like, branches of trees or, you know, having to do hard work, and I'm here to
So your philosophy is literally someone out there is having a worse day than I am.
And they're surviving. And they're pulling it through.
But then aren't you taking someone's choice away? Of literally making this decision that they want to live or not?
I get where Jennifer's coming from, where, like, yeah, I could be having a shitty day, and like, there's definitely people that are having
homeless,
like it's
having
worse. People in
AIDS.
Africa are like fucking
Yeah.
suffering and shit. Like, and I get it.
But let's be realistic.
But-
You can't
but-
do anything about that.
But here's the thing. While I get that, well, I will agree with you with the whole situation of like, yeah, people will have it worse than me.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, you know what? Let me just, calm the fuck down and
Yeah.
like get my shit together, right?
Let me go get a cup of Starbucks real quick.
Yeah, let me like smoke
Double
a little,
espresso?
my little
God.
my inhale caffeine and vaporizer.
Let me
and
do a
my-
line. If
yeah.
this doesn't work, let me do 2 lines.
Yeah, right.
But continue, Carla.
But you know what I mean? I definitely get that. But then like there's like example. Then there's people that are like taking it to the extreme where they actually have a serious
mental.
depression and they
Yeah.
can't live. And so what do? Well, I'm not saying lock them up, but they're gonna go to a facility where they're gonna be. Let's just say they put you in a 4x.
They're gonna suffer their entire fucking life.
So they're gonna be like in a like 8x10 square foot bed and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's where they're gonna live the rest of their lives because they can't be trusted with their own life.
And
because
what's the
they're
point
gonna-
of that?
Because they're gonna take their lives. And then so I look at it that way. Like, so what's the point of that? They're gonna be in like like a caged animal for the rest of the day.
And they want to like literally die, then let them die, right?
It's like putting an animal in a cage in a cage and they're gonna live and they can't run around and do shit. And like,
That's why you sometimes have. That's why I feel a lot of people are trying to raise up mental awareness, like mental things, like because sometimes you just need. Sometimes you gotta talk with someone. Sometimes you just gotta vent it out. Sometimes, I mean, it could be much more difficult or much more critical than that, but. I feel like that's why we need to be more comfortable talking about like mental health issues or
Yeah, and I can totally agree with you. Like, I
Right?
completely respect that. For all the people out there that are having like trouble with something,
get
I
over
or
it.
want them
no,
to-
don't get over it. Like,
No,
I'm
Let's-
kidding.
let's-
I'm kidding.
As
Before
a
someone hates
choice.
me.
no, yeah, let's be realistic. Okay, like I do feel for you guys. Like, you guys are doing something that's hard. Like, stay in there. Get me? Stay in there. Fight it out. But I really do.
Get help.
But I do really believe that, like, yeah, like, assisted suicide can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing.
I feel like it should be.
It should be a choice at a certain extent.
a certain extent, and it should be done in steps. And right now, I think the step is like if you have cancer or something, and you're gonna you're gonna die.
You're gonna suffer.
Yeah, I've seen people where like they want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go on this trip, whatever, and they give me 6 months or whatever, and by month 4, I'm like, I've done what I've got to do. I'm gonna deplete myself. I'm gonna be like in bed rest, and I won't be able to like consciously
Yeah,
do it. Like, let me just go to sleep, take a pill, or inject me with something, and call it a day.
Yeah, as fucked up as it sounds, and like,
No, I don't think that's fucked up. I think that like the way you said it though, that I think it's a reasonable idea why. But someone who's just like just like I said, like someone who's sorry, so, someone that's just having like a bad day or just having a mental breakdown or something like that, I feel like they will see this as a choice. Like, okay, like I can't do it anymore.
but would you rather have someone hang themselves or like commit suicide? For example, San Francisco.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they known for? The bridge, fucking Suicide Bridge, right? Would you rather have them commit suicide in front of thousands and hundreds of people, or would you rather give them the choice of going to a private location and doing it there? Or what? What do you think about that?
I guess the private one, but
Sometimes I guess you don't have the time, or you're just not all there to be like, you know what?
You don't have the time to commit suicide? What the fuck are you saying, Carla?
I don't think you can make that choice by yourself. I think you need like.
I
others
think
there to
I think
kinda help you
people
out,
maybe
too.
may have seen like all the suicide fails where they try and they're just like, fuck, I'm awake. You know what I mean? Like they're in the hospital. So I think they have to go to the extreme to just like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Versus like, I'm gonna take a pill and then someone's gonna find me and then there I am.
Because if you fail to commit suicide, you're literally fucked. Like how you said, they're gonna throw you in a room, lock you up, literally 4 walls and a bed, right?
Yeah.
But something I do agree with you, Carla, for the first time ever, because
What?
you always have stupid ideas. I'm just playing, Carla.
shit.
But look, something that I do agree with you is what you mentioned. I feel like there has to be a program that you have to go through, step by step. Get me?
Yeah.
Like, no matter how many steps there can be like 20 fucking steps, but at least you really took that time to think about it. Like, weigh out your options. Get
Yeah.
me? at the end of the day, though, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm against or with assisted suicide. I feel like there has to be that choice there, get me?
Okay.
Same thing with abortion.
Yeah.
I feel like that choice has to be there. Yeah. Even if I'm not going to take it, at least I know that choice is there.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm not going to put myself in the situation where I'm going to go to a, I don't know, black market, undercover, I don't know what, like, situation, location, where I could get an abortion, but I'm going to put my life in danger. Get me?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do it with a professional. And I'm not saying suicide is okay at all. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
Let's be clear on that.
How I said earlier, suicide is a really complicated and serious situation. And I feel that if you're planning of committing suicide, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. Like, literally, think about all the shit
there are
out there.
Hotlines to call and, you know, phone a friend or whatever. Yes. In fact, recently, again, my trip to Vegas, amongst other things that I did in this situation, they had I saw the van of Dr. Kevorkian, the guy that would help people commit suicide and stuff like that, which I didn't know how he did it or worked. I just thought like he just drugged them or whatever, but apparently what he would do was he had his van with a bed and he had all his, you know, all the liquids and all this other shit that was happening, right? And so what they would do is like they would lay him down in the fucking van. They'd hook him up or whatever. He'd hook him up to the I don't know what the drug is to kill.
It's like a lethal injection.
Yeah, right. And so he would be like, "Look, I'm helping you, but this is your decision. This is not on me." Which is
assisted suicide.
Right, exactly. And so then he would hand them the button, like a button. And it's like, this is you. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm helping you do this, like, in quote unquote safe and, you know, humane manner. Like, that's not like hanging yourself or jumping off a bridge or whatever it is that people do. And he's like, when you're ready, like, then you fucking push that button and you do it. You're on your own. And so that's what happened. He'd do it. He'd step away. And then the person would be there. And then when they were fucking ready, then they'd push the button and then they would end it.
That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. And I saw that, you know, again, amongst all the crazy shit.
That's some Charles Manson shit right there.
No,
like,
it is. And like I said,
hey, go kill this person, but I'm not killing them. Like,
yeah,
you're killing them.
And this was... He just roams around?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if you have to, like, call him or...
I mean, like, it was like... I mean, everyone knew he was Dr. Kevorkian.
It's on the homeless tours.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I'm not even going to joke around about that. No, but...
No, but...
Wow.
But, yeah, so... And that's one of the things I saw in Vegas. Like, I saw the actual... Like, I felt kind of creepy.
That's brutal.
I felt kind of creepy because, I mean, this was, like, in the... I don't know, like, the 80s, 70s. So it was, like... I don't know, but it had his VW, like... bug van out there. You saw the bed, you saw how he hooked up things up, and then they have the button, and then like, hey, you know, this is your decision, not mine. I'm helping you do this. And then the people would just, you know, I forgot how many actually people he...
At this point, do you agree with assisted suicide in that situation? Do you agree with that? Is that okay?
What do you mean?
What he's doing?
Well, isn't that what we're talking about?
No, yeah, that's right. Are you okay with that? With what he did?
I think I'm okay with you giving me the choice and I have it. It's not like, oh, 1, 2, 3, push, and then you're dead. You know what I mean? Like,
but he's a professional doctor, right?
Yeah, he's a doctor. So it's not like he's giving you like fucking rat poison or anything. He's giving you.
What about you, Jennifer? Are you okay with that?
He's giving you like the legit stuff, the legit stuff that they put people like, I don't know,
to sleep,
put them to sleep or whatever. Just like a lethal dose or whatever. But I agree. I mean, I don't agree. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Fuck. I think it's if we're looking at it like was it good or bad or whatever. I respect the fact that he would be like, look,
you have a choice.
I'm helping you do this. You do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do it. Like you know whatever. He's just like I'm just.
So is he a murderer?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah, he is.
Okay, damn.
Just like Charles Manson, he didn't do.
No, exactly. That's why he brought up Charles Manson.
He didn't do any of the murders. He brainwashed everyone else to do his murders for him.
Okay, yeah, that's why I asked you. Is he a murderer?
He is a murderer.
And what ended up happening with this guy? Like, did this guy get caught? What's up with this?
He was put in jail.
Oh shit!
And died.
That's crazy.
I think. Don't quote me. Fuck, I have to look it up because they told me the whole history, and I just, you know, like I'm in that museum and I'm looking at this shit, and it's like.
Girl, I thought this car was roaming around, just driving.
That's just parked. That's just parked right there on the corner of Western and Santa Monica. You guys can like go check it out.
Oh no.
Find it on.
Like, oh my god, why did you do
Like
that?
children are in the corner. What are you talking about?
You can find it right there on homelesstours.com.
Yeah, this is it.
Secret
Like,
Street
it's
Tours.
Secret Streets.
Okay.
But that's how it'd be because he can't be anywhere. Like he had to be like incognito. Like you just can't like, hey, come to my house and
You gotta know people to get it to
Yeah.
you. Okay.
But that's interesting. So how the way I want to end this is I want to like literally, let's say, raise awareness for suicidal victims and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just want to say that you have friends out there, you have family, you can talk to anybody, talk to a stranger, talk to anybody, get to know people. Honestly, if you're thinking of committing suicide, don't do it. Hang in there. There's people that are doing far worse in life than what you're doing. And I also want to end it with giving out the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They're available 24 hours every single day. You can chat with them online. Any problem you have, if you're thinking about it, if you're at the point where you're going to do it, please give them a call. Before you do it or before whatever the fuck you're going to do, give them a call. So the number is going to be 1-800-273-8255. Again, the number is 1-800-273-8255. They're the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They'll help you out. Even if you just have that small little idea of suicide, give them a fucking call.
Call Christian.
Don't call me, call Carla. But before Carla gives us a little plug for the social media, how she always does, give us your feedback. Like, let us know what you think about this topic of suicide. Drop a comment down below. Drop a like always. And it was amazing having you here, Jennifer.
Yeah, for sure.
Your ideas are great.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you and your little Starbucks shit, but anyways, that's really something I really wanted to emphasize on. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Give it a try. Call them. You have a choice.
Yes.
But with that being said, Carla, give us our fucking plug.
As always, we want to hear from you guys. Feel free to weigh in and comment on any of our topics today. And while you're there, go ahead and press the like button and subscribe. And you can follow us on social media at Instagram at no.lube.podcast and on Twitter at nolube_podcast.
Jennifer, anything you want to add? Any ideas before you leave?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me. You guys are the best, and I had fun, and thank you.
And again, don't slide into her DMs. She's taken, guys. But yeah, thank you again for you allowing us to have you here.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We'll
it.
probably invite you on another podcast.
Yeah.
We can't afford to pay you what we paid you this time, but
we'll do a rap party, end of season rap party for our podcast.
And also, I want to give a quick shout out to Simply Seima.
Aww.
Simply Seima, I know you wanted to be our first guest speaker here. Don't worry, we have this special little podcast
Yeah.
just for you.
Yeah, just for her.
Just for you.
Yeah.
All right, so hang in there. Give Carla a call. I'm just playing. Don't give Carla a call. But yeah, with all that, once again, thank you for hearing us. Thank you for listening. And if you are thinking of committing suicide, you have friends out there. With that being said, this was fun. This is Christian, signing out.
And this is Carla. I'll see you guys next week.
And Jennifer?
Bye.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.